Back at the landslide again on Highway 9 going into Bat Cave. Still haven't cleared it, so I'm gonna have to walk 1.5 miles in. Y'all saw my last video, so you know how bad it is. It's pretty amazing these four-wheelers made it this far, especially coming over that. But as you can see up there, there's the 74 bridge going towards Bat Cave. So this is as far as I've gotten as compared to the last video. I just got back on the road, what's left of the road, and then it'll end up there again and back to the rocks. But I'm closer to Chimney Rock than I was last time. That's the power of water right there. Look at that beam. I mean, that's a thick metal beam. Well, that's interesting. Once again, this is where the road should be. This bridge leading into this nice neighborhood. It's a new neighborhood too, I'm pretty sure. A little bit of the infrastructure broken up. They got the flag going at half-mast on Chimney Rock. This is one of the more unreal, scary things. Imagine this being your home. Very sad. Only way around is through the woods. Beautiful waterfall you see in Last of the Mohicans and Chimney Rock. Gosh, this area is beautiful. In order to get to Chimney Rock, you literally have to hike through the woods now to get around the raging river, a place that was previously so accessible by car. Look at this. That's crazy. That's huge. Just dropped out of the woods right there. This poor guy washed up here. I'm assuming people just came back and put these flags up because there's no way they would have lasted through the hurricane. I've seen quite a few of the flags. People trying to show a little strength through all this. Come back here, get their stuff, and put flags up. This is a lot of mud that came from up there. This is Chimney Rock. Straight ahead. Up and around we go. I'm in the middle of Chimney Rock. I just talked to the police. Because they're working on the roads, they don't want me down here, obviously. But I'll just give you guys an idea of how it looks. There's this big conspiracy going around that this is becoming eminent domain. Bodies are getting pushed around and the government's taking control of this area. I just was clarified with local authorities that's not happening. They've only found one body in Lake Lure. And yeah, I don't really see anybody being pushed around. And it doesn't stink here. The only dead thing I found was a horse. So here's what Chimney Rock looks like for you guys. Here in Chimney Rock with Logan. He's been clearing the streets with these guys. We don't smell anything, do we?
No. If the smell that was here was more than likely the 50-something propane tanks they took out of the river. Propane's got a pretty bad smell. There's not bodies in the road, no.
Yeah. There's no looting?
No looting. No.
You can't even get in here.
No, if you look around, there's definitely not people getting robbed by gunpoint either. There's more police and military in here than there is workers or people live here, to be honest with you. It's really just a lot of chaos. Everything's ruined. There's a lot more positive than negative going on right now, besides everything that happened.
So I think because people can't see what's going on in here, someone just created some crazy story and put it out there and it went viral.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
Most definitely. It's sad what happened and everything, but we're getting it, we're fixing it, and to the extent of what they said, that's very far-fetched. Very far-fetched.
And I walked all the way down here to find out what it looked like down here, and it's just destruction like it is everywhere else. There's nothing crazy going on here, so thanks for doing this cleanup, man.
Of course.
I appreciate it, and thanks for answering.
Yes, of course.
I got a backstory on this car from the local law enforcement down there. She was actually driving during the storm, maybe 10 a.m. Friday, which is like peak winds, and a landslide hit her car while she was in it. And then I guess, I don't know how she got out or rescued, but yeah. That's legitimately a police officer hit by a landslide. Pretty tedious walk, this whole thing. Whew. Sweating like a dog. This is Chelsea. She happened to be down in Bat Cave when the hurricane was going on. Can you tell us how that went?
Sure. So
Real quick, this is your house.
My house, yeah. What's left of my house. So 7:30ish Friday morning, my husband said we need to leave, and so we got our 2 cats and dog and ran across, and we were going to stay in the post office with our neighbors. And so we did, we put them in there, and we had a couple of bags of just like little things that were in the living room and dining room that we could put into garbage bags. And we put them all over in the post office, and we went back to get one more thing. It was like our medication, contacts, all of that kind of stuff. And we were holding the bags, and we heard this like huge whoosh, and we looked out our kitchen window, and the second half of the post office building, a landslide came and just wiped it out. So naturally we panicked, thinking that the building had been either completely wiped out or enough that the animals could run out. So we dropped everything that we had and ran back over there, which was kind of fortunate only because once we got there, we realized that the water had risen so high that we weren't gonna be able to stay there. So the door swings inward, so the water pushed it in enough that the one cat swam out and like climbed onto some debris and took off. But we got the kitten and our Shih Tzu, and our plan had originally kind of been to like walk up the street, but it was there was too much water and it was just coming down like a river. So we went up this mountain here, tried a couple cabins, like one had a gas leak, another one we thought we could stand on their porch, and like a huge mudslide came out from underneath it. And the third one we found, very Goldilocks, the third one we found had a screen porch, and God bless those people, because we just sat in there and we could see out up along this road and just watch one building after the other fall in like dominoes, and like whole garages fell in, cars fell in right after them, and we couldn't see our house, so we really didn't know what to expect. And we stayed up in that cabin until about 2 o'clock, and then the sun came out. It was like this, it was beautiful. Sun came out, beautiful blue sky, and we came down from the mountain finally and just saw it's like that absolute devastation everywhere. So
was this road filled with water? And you guys came down after it receded a bit, obviously, and just,
yeah,
I mean, I can't imagine what y'all saw.
It was crazy. So my husband fortunately had the sense to move our cars out of this driveway across the street, so they were parked right here. So we started just kind of triaging everything we could get out of our house, like the most important things, you know, any kind of clothes that we could get, like immediate things that we would need. And then we've come back every day. We're staying with some friends right now, but we've come back every day to just kind of get a little bit more and a little bit more. So, you know, then we got some like sentimental things, and he was an avid baseball card collector, so he had 250,000 baseball cards. They're all up
wow.
there. Any baseball card you see, that came from us. I of course collected Pyrex, which is the most inconvenient possible thing to collect. Huge, heavy, old, vintage glass. It was really fun to carry that around. But we did manage to get some of that out. But if you want to see in the house, I can show you, like, because we had a really nice,
if you could take.
Yeah, come on in. We had like a couch and a chair. We had a big china cabinet full of Pyrex, a big fireplace, and the sliding glass doors blew out, and it sucked all of it out into the water. Like this one used to be grass and trees.
Sticker on it. Might be half off if you're dead in it.
But you can see, like this was probably the beginning of the end. Like when this tree came in, because then like the water came. This all used to be vinyl, hardwood vinyl planks, and you can see like 30-day guarantee not to warp in water. So we'll find out about that. But that it's all down to subfloor now because the water came in and just ripped it all up. You can see how high the water was and like just splashed because it was so. There was so much velocity to it. It was just like, it looked like the ocean was white capping. Like, look on the ceiling and stuff.
Yeah.
Just splashing everywhere. It was just crazy.
Oh. Glad you're all right.
Yeah. This used to all be grass, like all the way out through here. We had one little patch of sand was all it was.
Wow.
And,
This was all grass?
yeah, and it's just, the land's just not there. Like,
Man.
it's just gone. I mean, what do you do when you own property?
Yeah.
It's just not there anymore. It's a river now. It's just really weird. All these rocks, these weren't here. Like, these had never been here. I don't know. I really don't know. Structurally, if they'll let us rebuild or...
Yeah.
I don't want to live anywhere else. My sister lives in the Keys. The Florida Keys is one of the most beautiful places in the country, and I don't care. I don't want to live anywhere but here. So it's just really hard. It's like the one thing that you want is the one thing you can't have.
Right. Louisiana State Police made it.
People on the scene were apple pickers with chainsaws.
So this is normally the way that you would take from Hendersonville to get to Lake Lure, Chimney Rock. No longer there. I like to say if you're coming down to Chimney Rock or Back Cave or whatever and you see stuff like water on the side of the street, don't take it. You should have hiked in with your own water. That's for people who need it on the street. So if y'all see airdrops and stuff like that and you're just out here to gawk and look at things, like, it's not the answer. You should bring your own stuff.
reservoirs closer to the top, and it was going to come down, and then but we couldn't get out of our street because trees were down. We had 17 minutes between the alert that said evacuate, mandatory evacuation, evacuate now, and then shelter in place, seek highest ground. We had 17 minutes to leave, and we couldn't, and there was nowhere to go, so we had to stay.
All right, we got to think about getting out of here.
You won't need just walk around you, walk around your 65. I do want you just walk around me, walk around me until I die.
All right, what is probably going to end up being a really long video is going to start off just a little differently, because there are people, there are Americans right now who are trapped in these flood-ridden areas of Western North Carolina and Eastern Tennessee that thousands of people are missing. We don't even know, we won't know for a while, like, what's really going on, how many people are alive or dead. It's the stories that are coming out right now are insane, and I can't even wrap my mind around it. I'm actually really pissed off. But before we get into all of that, people in these areas right now are without power, they're without clean water, they don't have food, gas, medicine, supplies, things like diapers. They're stranded and they have nothing. And so I want to start off with just a couple of resources that might help people, because there's not a lot of information in central locations that people can access easily. So I try to find some stuff like that. I want to put it up front for the people who really need it. So the first thing that I found that I thought seemed very useful was up at Citizens Times. They've posted an interactive citizens emergency map, which has dots all over it. And if you switch to data view, it tells you things like where you can go to get water, where you can go to get food, emergency shelters that are open, places where you can charge a cell phone or get Wi-Fi, places where you can get a free meal, places where you can take a shower. There's lists here, has addresses, information about when that's happening. And so that's like 17 pages of stuff that people have provided here for people who are needing these resources. And I will put that link first. I'm going to make a list of links. I'm going to stick it in a pinned comment below. It'll be the top pinned comment. This is going to be the first link on it. Anybody you know that's in that area that needs help, you could send them this link, because it's just so much information of places where they can, take a shower or charge their phone or get something to eat or get water, which everyone is desperate for right now, or a meal. So I'm going to put that link first. The second thing that I think everyone needs to see, and it's pretty astounding. There's a Facebook group, and I wouldn't normally say, hey, go join Facebook. We were kicked off of Facebook years ago, and I don't recommend Facebook, and I never usually would, but I am now for this reason only. There is a missing persons group that has been set up for Eastern Tennessee and Western North Carolina due to the flood. It was set up 4 days ago, and it already has 66,000 members. There have been over 200 posts on here just today of people who are missing. It's a place where you can go and post a picture of your loved one or a name and information if you're trying to find somebody that you haven't heard from that lives in these areas that have been affected by this storm. There have been 2,100 posts just in the last 4 days on this group of people who are missing. It's insane. Thousands of people are missing right now that no one has heard from. They don't know if they're trapped. They don't know if they're hurt. They don't know what's going on. So that's one place you can go and join and post a picture. Another place is this Google document that's been set up, the Hurricane Helene People Finder. It's basically just a Google spreadsheet, but they have a form here that you can fill out. You can put the name of the person, where their last known location was of these states, and any additional details like their address or their license plate or any information you have about this person to try and find them. And then you can put your information so they can contact you. And they're basically just keeping up this color-coded spreadsheet of people who are missing, and that's in red, and people who are found. Although there is one on this list that's says deceased in yellow. They're updating this all the time, but there are over 2,500 names on this list. So again, thousands of people are missing. So if you're missing somebody and you go to this Facebook page and join it and put that person, and you go to this Google spreadsheet and put their name, you've now put that out there in the 2 places that I found that have the most people concentrated together trying to help each other locate their missing friends and family members in this situation.
Well, like the black mountain river with an angel near my side, just keep your hand upon the throttle and your eyes upon the rail.
Oh, I hope not. Oh, we're gonna go up in the attic. We have to, guys.
We were not warned.
Whoa. Oh, shit.
Get in the house.
Oh, to give you an understanding of the devastation we're dealing with here. Chimney Rock's gone. Flowering Bridge is gone. And road's gone.
Everything on the farm drowned. Couldn't get everything out. We managed to save 1 horse.
Leaving comments of, oh, why didn't they evacuate? Da, 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 da. I don't think you comprehend how quickly this happened. And these areas have never flooded like this before.
I don't think I've ever seen.
not be driving
Never seen downtown Boone flood like this. Look at that.
We have one way in and one way out. How are we supposed to flee if and when that bridge goes? It took our bridge. It took our driveway.
The amount of bridges that are out, the amount of landlocked, stranded people is unbelievable. Guys with me that have done it 30 years, and they've never seen anything like this.
It's been an incredibly apocalyptic weekend for all of us here.
The news is not even coming close to catching the true devastation. There are bodies that are floating down the river, babies.
They literally watched multiple neighbors die. One was hit by a tree, others were washed away. Literally, the house was floating away with people in it. They are in shock. They are traumatized.
It's not enough. What is being done is not enough.
There's still plenty of people completely unaccounted for. Keep these locals in your prayers.
destruction and devastation caused by this hurricane up in the mountainous areas of eastern Tennessee and western North Carolina is
Here, rain event here.
these are areas where the roads are very narrow in places. Mass exodus probably wouldn't even have been possible if they could have done it in time, and they didn't have a lot of time in a lot of areas. This, if you pull up on this trying to get out, you're not going this way. And there might not be another road on the other side to get you somewhere because you're going to get swept down a mountain. I don't think you can tell when people are criticizing that they don't really understand the geography of this region. You've got spotty reception service. So if they're sending out emergency alerts, people aren't probably getting them. And I've even seen meteorologists being quoted as saying the messaging could have been stronger to warn people to get out, but we have to cut everyone some slack because what happened doesn't even make any sense. Okay, that's the level we're talking about. And the problem with leaving that some people don't seem to realize at all is that the government might prevent you from coming back, but we'll get to that momentarily. This hurricane Helene came up into here and dumped 40 trillion gallons of water in a very short amount of time into areas that don't see water like that. And the water just had nowhere to go. And there are still mudslides happening. There's still flooding that has not receded yet. It's just too much water. It has to go somewhere. So you've got people, like I said, they're describing this as not just unprecedented, but apocalyptic. There are, depending on where you look, they're reporting, CBS News yesterday reported 131 deaths. Today, the New York Times is saying 183 in 6 states. Good Morning America said the death toll has now reached 200. They're not going to know for a long time how many people have perished in this, but thousands of people are missing. So it rained for several days before this area was hit, so it was already rained on, and then this thing came through and just dumped insane amounts of water. In some places, 18 inches of water got dumped in 12 hours. The highest number I saw for one little town was 31.33 inches of rain in Busick. So 31 inches of rain is unimaginable. I mean, this is a kind of place where people plan for self-sufficiency. They have had floods before, but not anything like this in known recorded modern American history. And it's been compared to the 1916 flood that happened in the area, but that comparison is that flood pales in comparison to this, actually. And it was pretty serious too. I mean, the stories at the time coming out about that flood are very harrowing stories. You have just terrifying, horrible things like babies being pulled out of people's arms and stuff. But that flood was 22 inches of rain, and total for the entire area was 80 deaths. So we have more than doubled that number already. And again, people are still trapped up in here. Like there's no way to know how many people are missing. They don't even have a good number right now.
I can not even tell you how many families, even here outside of Charlotte, that are looking for their loved ones up in that area. No one knows anything.
If you go to certain platforms, there is picture after picture after picture of people that are missing and lost and people looking for their family members. And it is not okay.
There's no coordinated central location where that information is going. That's the thing. It's all done by citizens. It's definitely not happening through our government. So anyway, this is not the 1916 flood. This is something else entirely that has happened here.
I grew up here. I lived here, 30 years basically. So on and off, and I've never seen anything like it. I've never seen devastation like this. It's been flooded before, but this is completely insane.
It started at Wednesday, pouring down rain. It rained Wednesday, Thursday, and she came Friday. I mean, everything she could move, she moved.
Whole house. Man,
My car's gone.
I'm okay. It's okay.
Everything's gone.
It isn't just bridges that are washed out or roads that are washed away. Whole towns are gone. We've got upwards of almost 1 million people still without power as of today, just in North Carolina, South Carolina, and Georgia alone. And the stories that are coming out of people being trapped in areas where there's no running water, they can't obviously flush toilets. You have elderly and disabled people who can't get around very easily. There are stories of children being found just abandoned in the woods, not abandoned, but their parents are nowhere to be found. Something must have happened to their parents because there's just children just in the woods. And that's before you get into the much darker stuff that the media isn't talking about.
How they're saying just a couple hundred people on the news and social media. He looked at me and just his face head kind of drooped, and he started choking up. I put my hand on his back and said, "Buddy, we're doing all we can do." He said, "I've talked to people and they're pulling people out of houses about an hour. Just they couldn't get out. The water took them in, trapped them in, then the silt filled in. They're there. You go down through there and there's just houses with big X's on them, or check marks on them. I don't know what the X's mean. I don't want to know what the X's mean, but I'm hoping the check mark means that they're good, that there's nobody in there. It's horrible."
And so now we're going to get to a part of the video that is probably going to piss a lot of you off. It really pisses me off. I find what I'm about to say to you very unreal, because it, in the first sense anyway, what I'm about to tell you doesn't make any sense.
These people doing these rescue missions and saying, don't fly drones around the area, don't bring in donations that aren't approved. A lot of people are getting turned away for their donations. And something is afoot here.
But this is the kind of stuff that's going on, and I'm seeing it all over the place.
A formal press conference or something from either President Biden or Kamala Harris. I mean, how do you not say anything for 4 days? They've been stranded for 4 days, and this is the first we've heard from them at all. FEMA is not on the ground there.
Do you have any faith in the federal response here?
No.
So first of all, you had a woman talking about how TEMA, the Tennessee Emergency Management Agency, was telling people not to send donations, not to volunteer to come in to help people.
Notification from TEMA. I'm guessing that's FEMA for Tennessee. I'm not exactly sure. I think it's supposed to be the disaster relief people, but they were like, "Do not donate your time. We don't want you to donate time unless we ask for you, and we don't want you to donate stuff to other people. You need to just donate money and stuff to us and get your instructions from us and listen to us." What?
And was telling people to just give cash donations, which a lot of people are saying, if you know what that's about, they put it into a fund. It doesn't necessarily go where you think it's supposed to.
So donate to our local churches, because they will make sure that the people that are need it will get it.
And people were saying this woman was making it up and it didn't sound true, but then I found the post from TEMA. They did say that. It's right there.
I was floored yesterday by how my community, which is a little over an hour away from the affected areas, showed up at donation sites with water and diapers and formula and some liquid IV. I mean, y'all brought all kind of things, bleach, vinegar, You are ready to help, and we're going to take more donations today. And we're so grateful for everything, because I'm going to get it into the hands of actual volunteers. And I was asking people, like, why are you bringing it to me? Some of y'all don't even know me. And they said, well, we don't trust the relief organizations anymore. Y'all, we have lost our organizations to grifters. We have lost our organizations to liars.
We pulled up to 2 different locations. We asked some sheriffs. We asked some other fire departments. They're all leading us to the command post, which is FEMA. They're not going to allow us to do anything.
The people are trying to help the people, and they're being turned away.
There are even stories coming out that people are being threatened with arrest. There was a civilian helicopter pilot who was going in on his own accord and pulling people out because people were writing to him to please come help them because he had posted on social media. And he claimed that he was threatened with arrest.
Multiple phone calls I've received like this, voicemails, text messages, and you could hear people desperate for help.
Stidham spotted an older couple waving for help, then landed in what's left of their driveway.
I originally left my son, co-pilot, on the side of the mountain. It was kind of unstable, so I didn't want to put more weight in the helicopter to lift back off. So I left my son with the other victim, and I was just going to take one person down at the time.
3 minutes away, Stidham spotted a group of rescuers just down the river. He landed and found someone in charge.
Told him my background experience, law enforcement, firefighting, pilot. He immediately started helping with coordination. He gave me radio frequencies to coordinate with them on, set up a landing area for me to come back with the other victim. And in the middle of the whole conversation and then blocking the road off, I was greeted by the at that time I didn't know, but Lake Lure fire chief or assistant chief maybe, and he shut down the whole operation. So at that point I felt like the conversation wasn't going any further. And again, he asked me to leave, and I said, hey, I have no problem getting out of your area. If that's what you want us to do, we'll leave, no issue. At that point, I asked him, what was the reason I had to leave them there, and he said, again, you're interfering with my operation. I just need you to get out of the area. I said, sir, I don't know where you were trained at, but I know how my training is, and I'm not going to leave personnel behind. I'm going back to get my co-pilot. He said, if you turn around and go back up the mountain, you're going to be arrested. I said, well, sir, I'm going back to get my co-pilot. I don't know what to tell you. And he said, I'm letting you know. And at that point, he waved for 2 law enforcement officers to come over and told me that again, if I go back up the mountain, I would be arrested. I had a conversation with the female victim before I left, apologizing and explaining. She was standing there. She heard the whole conversation. And they were both very, very surprised, very upset. The husband, as I was leaving off of the side of the mountain, at that point, separated from his wife. He was upset.
People who are going back into these properties to try to salvage whatever's left on their own property to get their own stuff are being threatened with arrest.
Gave me instructions to come talk to you guys, that you guys have already gotten ample amount of time. That I don't know what she told you. I'm giving you guys a warning. That's it. Just please pack up and leave. That's literally it.
Do you see us trying to get our stuff?
I got you. I don't know what you guys been doing. Again, this is.
I did.
Yeah, that's perfectly fine. Again, I don't know what you guys been doing. I'm just giving you guys a warning that we're trying to get people through. So if I have to come back out over here, like, I don't know, like, the jail is processing, all right? That's it. That's the last report.
So you're going to take us to jail.
Come here. Look, I'm not taking you to jail.
You're threatening to take me to jail for trying to get our stuff off our property.
All right, well, as long as he's in the area, go ahead and go out to those parts, and if we need to get another officer out here once we get to the next shift, then we'll deal with it then.
You heard?
Thank you.
You heard?
Yeah, I heard her.
So you can be upset all you want. I'm giving you guys a warning. I get it. You guys upset. I'm giving you guys a warning that if they have to come back out here, they probably have to escalate from there.
I guess they got to escalate it then.
Okay.
Because we're trying to get our shit.
We got Governor DeSantis of Florida, whose state got hit, sending extra stuff from Florida.
Florida, we have it handled. We got approved for the individual assistance things we've wanted. We have what we need. I think most of the effort should be in Western North Carolina right now.
And people are saying the governor of Florida is doing more for them in Tennessee than their own governor is. And you also have Rep Mills out of Florida.
We've got 5 different locations that we're looking at today. One location has 5 elderly. A couple of others have an 8-year-old and a mother.
He's been flying stuff in. He was on TV talking about where's FEMA. Everybody's been asking where's FEMA, where's the aid, why aren't they here, why aren't they helping?
No, actually, the American people are the ones who are leading the efforts. And so you can see now that there is a tremendous amount of people that's just stepped up. I've heard from others who said that they haven't heard or seen FEMA.
And there are allegations that people are being stopped from actually being able to save people and that it doesn't make any sense.
When I tell y'all I'm super frustrated at the moment is not a lie. For the past 48 hours, I had planned to go to East Tennessee, Irwin, Newport and all that tomorrow. And then I get a phone call and an email where we're being told to stand down. I've had emails where I've had a woman named Laura ask for help. Her brother got swept away. They have a video of him being swept away, and she's just asking for help to get him. And yet we're being told to stand down. Heard from these 2 people about how he went to take generators and supplies there, and he was turned down. The water, food, stuff like that, turned down. Why? You have people that really need things. And I get it. It's such a disarray. I understand this was all so fast. But at the end of the day, man, putting a halt to everything while there's people's lives at stake that are sitting out there somewhere that don't have anything, that may be trapped, may be hurt, and you're asking people to stand down that have the capabilities to help somebody, it doesn't make sense to me.
There's even a soldier that's putting out videos, and it's almost like what she's saying is in a very obviously coded language that anyone can get if you just listen to what she's actually saying.
People are trying to figure out why we can't get there. The only way there is through air. Roads are destroyed. There's landslides, mudslides everywhere. Safest way and the only way we can get there is by flight. Not that many helicopters. Like I think right now we have like 10, but you got to think how many people are missing. And there's certain things I can and cannot say just because. But take that in account. There's a lot of people missing, and it's day, I think, 4 or 5. I have sleep deprivation. I can't think. But it's been a couple of days. People were without food and without water. I think you can only go 2 days without water. And that is if you were healthy. Not if you're a child. Not if you're an old lady or old person. Keep that in account.
Where she says, I'm as frustrated as you are, but we can only do what we've been ordered to do.
They're not going to let us go on foot. They're not going to. I don't know why. They're just... Listen, I'm literally learning and I'm telling y'all or trying to tell y'all because I can't even tell y'all everything. People are asking why don't we use animals or 4-wheelers and stuff like that. They have to approve of whatever that is. They have to approve it before we're able to do it. Does that make any sense? If they don't approve it, we cannot do it. Then again, I know I sound aggressive, but I am frustrated with y'all if that makes any sense. I'm trying to level with you. We're only doing what we're allowed to do and what we're told to do. We cannot do anything other than that. Well, the consequences will vary. I understand that North Carolina and everywhere is upset with us. I get it. There's nothing I can do. There's literally nothing I can do.
And there's a lot of people asking where the military helicopters are. Where's all the response?
That's North Carolina over there. I'm in Tennessee. The government really wanted to help, dude. There would be helicopters and military just everywhere. There's none. There's none. What is going on?
The only thing I need from this video is helicopters. If I have helicopters, I can save lives. Yesterday, when I was at the Asheville airport refueling, which, by the way, the civilian is paying all this out of his own pocket. He's not even looking for a reimbursement. I think we did 4 refuelings yesterday, and that was like just in half a day's work. We're in Asheville, and I saw 2 Air Force Helicopter 60s, and I knew they were PJs just looking at them. And I went up to them, I'm like, hey guys, like, what are y'all doing? And like, this is what you need to be doing. This is how I'm finding people. And they're like, we can't go. We're waiting on Title 10 orders. And I'm like, what? They can't get any authority. There's military helicopters all over here sitting on the ground and they can't do nothing. Even my JSOC boys in Fayetteville, they can't get orders to come out here. It is just the most disgusting thing. And they're killing these people. And I don't know why they're doing it. I don't know what kind of conspiracy. I've heard so many things, whatever you want to come up with. But they are literally allowing these people to die in the mountains right now because we can't get helicopters.
And it wasn't until October 2nd, that Biden finally approved 1,000 soldiers, I think. mean, keep in mind, this area that's affected is the size of Massachusetts, and he just now, days after the fact, just now approved 1,000 soldiers.
When the first emergency declarations came down, there was only 11 counties in that. A lot of people were outraged, including me, because there was such devastation in up to 90 counties. So we called the White House.
But basically, all of the relief efforts that have been going on have been by civilians, civilian airplanes, civilian helicopters, civilian rescue vehicles, civilian tractors and dozers, and any kind of rescue and relief has all been done by civilians.
On Saturday, I was able to get into Asheville. I have a two-wheel drive vehicle. I do not possess helicopters or giant military bulldozers or bridge layers, just a two-wheel drive vehicle, and I got into Asheville. It took me 6 hours. I had to care because I was going in to help people. I'm not quite sure how a government that has the biggest military on the planet can't figure it out. I'm not quite sure why that same government that has all the information gathering techniques that it has and satellites is telling people there's still no way to get into the area.
They're not going to let us go on foot. They're not going to.
And this is extra pathetic. What I'm about to say is extra pathetic. And I never thought I'd be saying this ever, like in the history of time. But Hurricane Katrina, I mean, it has gone down in history as one of the worst responses. There were a lot of atrocities that happened in the responses. There were a lot of things that were being done that were absolutely not okay. But one of the things that was done is they were already calling out Coast Guard and positioning people before that hurricane ever even got to the coast. They already had military in position. Within days, they had deployed tens of thousands of Guard and soldiers into that area. There were 30,000 National Guard troops deployed into that area for relief by September 2nd. Ironically, the North Carolina National Guard was sent down there, along with 3,500 soldiers out of the 82nd Airborne Division of Fort Bragg in North Carolina. They went down to New Orleans, along with 30 helicopters.
There's military helicopters all over here sitting on the ground, and they can't do nothing.
Which were prepared to deploy on short notice. They had 24,000 troops on the ground in Louisiana and Mississippi. I actually did a little more digging, and it's actually even more troops than that article mentioned, because they sent people out from the Army, the Marines. They sent out, they quoted a spokeswoman for the 82nd Airborne who said that at least 5,000 from her division would be sent. So it's even more. In fact, Lieutenant General Stephen Blum, chief of the National Guard Bureau, was quoted as saying they would send 10,000 more previously unplanned National Guard, bringing the total up to 40,000. So they sent 40,000 National Guard and many more Army units, Marine units. The point I'm trying to make is they sent so many military to assist after Katrina to those areas. Newspapers like the Miami Herald were running headlines, "Storm deployments prompt fears of strained forces," as if they were sending so many people because there was a war in the Middle East going on at the time of this. So that's how many, right? That's how many were sent. Now, why don't you compare that response to the response of 6,500 National Guard members and 1,000 active duty troops? Why don't you compare that to the fact that this storm hit that area Friday, September 27th, it hit that area. On Sunday, September 29th, North Carolina Governor Ray Cooper was quoted at a press conference as saying,
"More than 500 North Carolina National Guard members are now working alongside local emergency responders, conducting search and rescue missions, delivering needed supplies, and working to restore infrastructure."
More than 500?
North Carolina National Guard has increased to over 500 soldiers and airmen and over 200 vehicles.
Meanwhile, right next door, in Tennessee, which was also greatly impacted, they just sent more than 700 National Guard to the Middle East.
Their own are drowning, and you deployed troops to Kuwait? Like, what is going on?
See the problem here? This is a horrifying disaster. It's now being called the second worst hurricane to hit since Katrina. And they didn't just send them to the Middle East, they did it after the storm hit. They deployed on Saturday. This storm hit on Friday. This is shameful. This is absolutely shameful. They're reporting now nearly 1,000 active duty troops, nearly 1,000? I thought it was 1,000, are joining 6,500 National Guard members from 15 states. 6,500. So you've got maybe 7,500. There were 25,000 Guard and active duty already on standby before Katrina ever hit land. That was what was being reported at the time. And that's Hurricane Katrina, which is, again, has gone down in history as one of the most botched, worst responses to a natural disaster that ever occurred. But they did that much. They haven't done hard. Like, what are they doing with this? And if you're thinking it's because New Orleans had more people at the time, there was under 1 million people in New Orleans in 2005 population. Western North Carolina, by contrast, the 23 most commonly associated counties in the 2020 census had well over 1 million people. So there's a lot of people just in Western North Carolina alone. And you have to remember, Eastern Tennessee also very much affected, South Carolina also affected, Georgia, Florida, all these other places have also been affected. But this particular area where these people are still trapped and everything, there's a huge amount of people living in those areas. It's just they're spread out in this mountainous area, but there's a lot of people there. So this is 11% of North Carolina's total population is living in that area. And Biden just now, October 2nd, is saying he will approve 1,000 troops. So right after their family members get put through this and they join the National Guard, probably, I don't know, I'm just guessing, to protect, to step up and be able to protect their family and neighbors and friends and communities and state if something like this were to happen. Now they're being sent on the other side of the world, I guess, to protect foreign countries, obviously not their own people in their own country, which is not what the National Guard, by the way, was created to do ever. That is supposed to be our militia. That is not created to be sent overseas to fight foreign banker wars in other places. That is not what that is for. And everybody knows it, except for the people who are running things in the most corrupt ways possible. So this is insanity. Do you see the difference here? Something is not at all adding up here in any way.
Like I said, there are literally people still in floods right now that cannot get out. There are people the people that did survive, they are in shock. They are traumatized. They watch their family members, they watch their neighbors die. We need help desperately.
And people are very angry.
So you're just going to give billions was just given to Ukraine, but he can't help us here in North Carolina?
I'm proud to announce a new $2.4 billion package of security assistance.
Are there any more resources the federal government could be giving them?
No, we have pre-planned a significant amount of it, even though they didn't ask for it yet.
Because it seems like this government has resources for everywhere else on Earth right now, except for its own people. We have Mayorkas now coming out saying FEMA doesn't have enough funds for the rest of the hurricane season now.
Quote, we are meeting the immediate needs with the money that we have. We are expecting another hurricane hitting. FEMA does not have the funds to make it through the season.
And then, right on cue, because I guess they're letting her pretend to be the president now, Kamala Harris comes out yesterday and says people affected by this will get a $750 check.
And the federal relief and assistance that we have been providing has included FEMA providing $750 for folks who need immediate needs being met.
Meanwhile, I guess the people in the Haina are like, where's my $50? I mean, this is 2024 money. It's insulting. It's insane.
What got me fired up about this was yesterday, me and my team did the rescue of that 11-day-old baby. All these government officials and social media, they're showing that video, that pictures and video of that rescue and claiming that like they have some like government help with that. Even USA, I think it was USA Today, wrote an article about it saying it was a Florida National Guard that went and got it, like with a helicopter. No, it was me, my buddy Charlie, and a civilian named Zeb with his own personal helicopter out of Wilmington, North Carolina. Like, without that civilian, that baby would be dead. And the old lady we went and rescued after that, she'd be dead too because she had 1 day left of oxygen.
Let's recap. Not to read between this lady's lines or anything, but it's not like she's veiling what she's saying all that hard. She's straight saying they can't go in because they haven't been given the clearance to do so, and everything in the military requires orders first before you can just do anything. You can't just act of your own accord.
Trying to level with you. We're only doing what we're allowed to do and what we're told to do. We cannot do anything other than that. They're not going to let us go on foot. They're not going to. I don't know why. They're just, listen.
And then she's letting everyone know very specifically how many days it takes for somebody to die without water.
It's been a couple of days. People were without food and without water. I think you can only go 2 days without water. And that is if you were healthy. Not if you're a child, not if you're an old lady or old person. Keep that in account.
Add that together. This is very simple math she's laying out here. Add that together with how many days after this thing happened that it took for our president to finally sign off on an order to send 1,000 troops, to activate 1,000 troops and 6,500 guard. So you're telling me that for Hurricane Katrina, they had Coast Guard pre-positioned, they had 82nd Airborne out there, which is trained to deploy anywhere in the world within 18 hours to make it anywhere on Earth in less than a day. It's right there in the state because it comes from the base in the state. Not letting them deploy. Military helicopters sitting all around on the ground, not letting them go up in the air for 5 days. That's what we're saying right now. To an area geographically that has well over 1 million people in it. And these counties have been decimated. Some of them are still underwater. There's mudslides still happening. People are trapped. Roads are gone. Bridges are gone. And you're telling me, do this math. Just do it. Everyone, do the math right now. You can't really arrive at any other conclusion, can you? It's horrible. This is horrifying. It really is. It's really horrifying.
We know it's public. We know all the money that was just sent to Ukraine. Are you kidding me? How much money is it going to take to rebuild these mountains? And there's no amount of money that you can put on these people's lives. What is going on? I don't understand.
This is not incompetence, okay? Incompetence suggests that somebody's just too stupid. I do not believe at this point, after everything that I have seen, researching for this and watching hours of video of people talking about what's going on, and I do not believe that it is physically or mentally possible for anyone to be this incompetent. This is not incompetence. This is something else. I posted something earlier today on X because I was trying to put together a list of resources that will actually, if you donate and you want to help people out in the affected areas, these resources will actually get to people on the ground, because there's a lot of fishy bullshit that's going on. I did post this and I asked people, if you've got a source that's actually a good source that's helping people right now, where the donation will make a difference, please post that, basically, because I want to give people, good, legitimate sources where if they give them the money, it's not just some BS that's going to go to fees and salaries of people and things like that, and not actually just go help people on the actual ground. And so these are the ones that people overwhelmingly said were helping people and were good. And the first one that everyone that was mentioned by multiple people is Samaritan's Purse, which is a Christian organization out of Boone, North Carolina. And they've been sending out trucks filled with supplies, disaster relief. They've gone to Florida, they've gone to Georgia. They're obviously helping in North Carolina too. And so they have a donation thing set up on their website where people can give money. There's also a place where people can sign up to volunteer. The second group that was mentioned consistently is the United Cajun Navy. They were mentioned multiple times. This group is flying in there. They're doing search and rescue. They're also transporting oxygen and insulin. They're bringing Starlinks to hospitals. all kinds of stuff that they're doing. And so they have a page set up here where you can donate for that. There's also Grindstone Ministries, which was mentioned multiple times. There's a page set up for them to donate. There's also the Y'all Squad mentioned multiple times.
What is going on, guys? Caleb Beecham here, Operations Director for the Y'all Squad. I'm currently back in Central Iowa after delivering our first of possibly many loads down to Eastern Tennessee and Western North Carolina. On that truck, we had shovels, rakes, chainsaws, brooms, mops, toiletries, really anything you think we could need right after a disaster. We brought it.
There's also the 118th. They've got people on the ground. They're in multiple states. They're doing stuff. They have a Give, Send, Go that they've set up. Operation Airdrop, which is volunteer pilots that are flying things into places where the roads have been washed out. And then finally, Mountain Mule Packer Ranch was also mentioned. They've got mules and they're loading equipment onto mules and walking it in that way because, again, like I said, can't get in there with the roads the way they are. I mean, there's like in some areas, there's only one road and it's iffy. And so they're trying to get supplies in there any way they can. So those are the main resources that people mentioned if you want to donate to try to help out. All right, so I'm cutting in here. I'm going to go ahead and put this up as part 1. And this is going to be continued because we have a whole other side of what's going on that you guys need to see. But I need to go ahead and get what I have up now so this information can get out. I'm actually kind of getting swamped over here. We're both getting kind of swamped over here with stuff. So I just want to go ahead and put up what I have so far, and then Aaron's been in the background researching a whole other aspect and angle to this that I think is very important for everyone to consider. Also, there's a lot of conspiracies going around that I think should be taken with a grain of salt until receipts can be shown, because there's some people making some pretty tall claims without a whole lot of evidence, and people are just taking it at face value. And I'm really not sure that's helpful right now when you consider the levels of pain and heartbreak and devastation that are on this ground. We do not need to be making stuff up. It's already bad enough as it is. So we have truestreammedia.com up if people want to contact us to send pictures, video, information, whatever you need. We've got our contact information's up there. My DMs are open on X, and I will put that whole list of links below, and this is to be continued. I love you guys. Stay safe out there. Hug your loved ones, because you never know. You just never know.
Well, that is bizarre. I really wanted to share them. Truth Stream Media. They're really good people. An amazing YouTube channel. A lot of great information at their site and all. But I like what they put in there with the resources that you can go to and help. Okay? And that's why I wanted to put that on there. It's just crazy. It's just right down the road from me. As the crow flies, I could be, 20 miles, and this is going on right down the road. These are places that I picked up at, to do some work, and also, it's just right there. I've had loads offered to me to go over there, or not over there, but over in just south of Asheville. I-40 is closed, I-26 is closed, going south of Asheville. North of Asheville is all wiped out, so you can't get to the area. And I got people, that I'm leased to. Let me see. Let me turn that off. It's playing in the background. I've got to turn it off. It's running me crazy. Stop. That I leased to, trying to send me to the areas, and it's like you can't get to it. You can't get to it. I know a few of the local people. I've been talking to a lot of local people, some of the churches and whatnot, and getting in. I want to talk to my neighbor who has a four-wheeler drive, and my landlord has a trailer, and people in Townsend have been collecting supplies to bring over there. I mean, I don't know if a lot of people are getting it, okay? You know, the people that could get out and got out, because I can show more videos where the towns are completely empty, right? Well, there's some of them, the town's not even there. It's just gone, you know? The people are gone. They're washed away, okay? But there are some, if you have a four-wheel drive, to get into. But what I was getting at was that so many of these people are shut off. Okay, they're like on an island now, right? They're here, and they can't get out, and no one can get in without any water. And what are we at? What is this? Day 8, right? Are we on day 8 with zero water? Zero water to drink. There's no water to drink. Well, how do you think they're faring? I'd say not very good. The body can only live so long without water, and we're looking at a couple of days. You know what I'm saying? 4 or 5 days at max without water. Water, clothes, right? Nothing, right? These people are like, it's almost like if I'm up on this mountain like I am, and this place flooded out, what I have here is what I got. Now, if this place flooded out and the cabin flooded out, and what I'm wearing is what I'm going to have, and that's it. That's where these people are, right? They are in the mountains. They are in the hollers. They are at places you can't get to, and they done nothing. And to do something 5 days later, the damage is already done. There's no telling what the death toll will be. No telling whatsoever. I mean, it's bad enough. It's so bad for the people that have gotten out. They can't get back. There's nothing to get back to. That's horrible enough as it is. My concern is the thousands that are stranded up in these mountains. Very poor people in the first place. You know, just like Townsend, there's like 500 people in this town. What happened is basically like this little town just wiped off the map. Just whoosh, gone, you know. And then all the people up in the hollers and up in the mountains and stuff, they're stranded. They can't do nothing, can't go away. The road's washed away, can't get in, can't get out. How feasible would it be to carry a canoe or light boat? The river is not that big, okay? What happened here is crazy. I have videos here of what these areas look like, okay, now and before. But what they look like now, and they're just creeks. You know what I'm saying? You know, decent sized creeks, but you can't take boats up them or canoes up them. And they just washed out, and that's what happened, right? You know, you're talking about very small rivers, very shallow. Now they're completely rocks, boulders, everything's in there. You can't get in. The only way you can get in is by foot. And then if you're going to get in by foot, there's no road to walk up, okay? You have to, that's why like the first video I showed, the roads are gone. You got to go through the mountains, you know? You have got to go through the woods to get to these people and stuff. It's bizarre, and I don't think a lot of people really understand, you know, because they haven't been like in the Smokies, in this part of the Appalachia where people really live, right? The homegrowns. These people are living in areas that you just can't get to now. It's impossible. It's not like, let's say Asheville per se. There's many different ways to get into Asheville, and the major ways are gone. The back ways are gone, but you can still get to it. These little towns, 500 people, 800 people, 1,000 people, whatever, they're here, and there's one way in and one way out, or vice versa, and it's broke. It's broke, and then the town's gone in between. So you have the people up in the highlands that didn't get washed away or whatnot, but they can't get out. People can't get in. Good thing that we're going to give them $750 how are they going to get it? Okay, and where are they going to spend it? You can't get it for one thing. You can't get it into them by hand. They can't go out to get it. And then if they got it, there's no place around there to spend it. It's not like you're going down to Walmart that just got washed down the road, or Dollar General, or the hardware stores, or their feed stores, or local business stores. They're gone. They're not there. The towns are gone. Okay? And you can't get any place. And any place that's even close that you could get to, if you could even get out, say you walked out, they're already bought out. The stores, everything are empty, completely empty and all. Now, Townsend, it's only 20 miles down the road as the crow flies, 20 miles down the road. And we're doing okay, and Maryville is doing okay. Yeah, and like you said, it's based on income. Well, you know how much income 95% of these people have in these areas? Very, very little. Just like Townsend here. I live in Townsend, right? What, 500, 800 people here in Townsend? But the local income, these are very poor people, right, that live in these areas. So if it's based on any type of income, their income is little or close to nothing anyways. And I could go on and say, connect the dots and stuff and tell you what's going on here. And I have in my thoughts, whatever, my opinion, I know what's going on here. Okay? I know what is going on here. And it's not good. And we will see in the long run, okay? It's been speculated from other people, read between the lines, whatever, that there's a land grab going on, kind of like Hawaii or whatever. Well, who knows? Could be just speculation, could be lies, could be whatever. You can't come out here and tell the truth, okay? The only people that can get out here and say anything are the actual liars. You know what I'm saying? So, what do you do? The truth can't be spoken, okay? Because then in this free country, even though you've got freedom of speech, but you don't have freedom of speech, okay? You can't go out there and tell the truth. They don't want you out there flying drones around, okay? Because they don't want people to see what's really going on. They want you to see what they want you to see. But you got towns, okay? Towns, villages, okay? These aren't empty towns, okay? Empty towns. And all of a sudden this flood came up, boom. Oh, there's hardly any casualties. There's hardly any bodies or whatnot. I did hear one story. Don't know if it's true or not. Could be a lie, whatever, right? The FEMA money went to taking care of the illegals. Yeah, right? I did hear a story of a local, because the local chatter going on around here. One lady was able to get out, and she wanted to go to work where she worked at, okay, which is like 45 minutes away. It took her 2 hours to get there. Okay, this is a story of her story. Okay, it took her 2 hours to get there. What she's seen getting there was so bad that she didn't even want to go back, because that's horrifying what she's seen. So you can kind of guess what she's seen. Okay, we're talking human beings, we're talking animals, horses, cows, everything. It's like everything is washed away, just gone, just gone. There's nothing there, So it is what it is. I meant for a few days. What was that? Seems like the water is drying up. Yeah, well, it is drying up quick, because everything's on a mountain, right? Everything's downhill. Downhill. This stuff don't hang out for a while. It's just gone. You can look at a lot of these places now, besides the saturation, okay, but the rivers and everything all dried up. They look like creeks again. You just barely see some water. and all. That's what I meant by you can't take any canoes up there. Nothing, right? It's crazy. Let me grab some more coffee here. But it's insane. It's really, really bizarre. And what do? What can you do? Especially when they're stopping you from doing it. Java. So, I mean, that's my concern. My concern is for the people that are stranded that you can't get to. And there's thousands of them. And they have no resources whatsoever except the clothes they're wearing on that day. I mean, it's not like they just had a bad evening, okay, 8 days ago. It's not like they had a bad evening 8 days ago and, well, it was a rough time, you know, for a day or two. No, they're just as rough off now. They're just as rough off now as they were the next day. Basically, you know, thank God it's drying up and all that jazz, right? But physically, food-wise, whatever, it's zero. You know, zero. I don't know if anybody knows about living in, you know, the Smoky Mountain area, Cherokee area, out in these woods. I'd hate to be out here living in these woods. You know what I'm saying? With nothing. You know, nothing. Not like they have tarps and coats or jackets or sleeping bags. Nothing. It's all washed down the river. It's all gone. It's all washed away. So, yeah, I've been watching these videos. I've been talking to a lot of people, you know, locals and stuff, you know, and I wish my van was a four-wheel drive van, or if I had a four-wheel drive, because I can get in one way or another. I can get in. I can get to almost any place. These other places, it has to be helicopters. You know, it has to be. You know, you want to walk a mile through the mountains, have fun with that, and trying to bring in supplies. I was thinking about even trying to go in. I wish I can go in, you know, and it breaks my heart that I can't, you know. It kind of chokes me up a little bit. I wish I can just go in with my bug out bag. It's right there, you know. I wish I could go in with my bug out bag and just bandages, whatever. Let me see. Joe was pissed at Harrison, and this way at getting back her. Oh yeah, I seen you. Didn't you write that earlier, or is that posted? It just didn't go through. I thought I seen you write that. There's all kinds of crazy stuff here, because in a sense, right? He's still on watch, right? He's still on watch. If I can throw a hint out there for anybody to research the natural resources in these areas. Big hint, okay? There's about four or five natural resources in these areas that has been slowed by population. I'm trying to say it without saying it because you can't say anything because our freedom of speech is not free. Good thing we got the First Amendment, right? So, look at the natural resources. Look at the natural resources that could be down the river a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? You know, to get one area, it's like casualties of war per se. You gotta get this area, but you know, you just can't do this area, so you gotta do the whole area, right? Trying to get this area. Well, look into that, okay? Look into lithium. Look into who whose interest is in lithium, who wants it and who's buying it and who's contracted to get it. Look into that, research that a little bit. It'll tell you a little bit what's going on here, right? What? Screw it, say it. Yeah, but then they'll just cut it off. So you know what I'm saying? You know, you know what I'm saying? So kind of, like I said, just looking, you know, lithium, okay, and mines and where that is and how much money is invested and when. What is that? Just drop back and looks what? And looks his pocket is oh, look whose pockets are lining, right? What did I say? What do I say? There's a deal that's supposed to start going into effect. Now check it out. Let's put it this way. In effect, starting 2025, right? Sometime in 2025. Guess when the interstates are going to be opened back up? I-40, September 2025. I-26, March, I think, March 2025. Okay. How long is this going to take to clean this area up? A couple years. Okay. Got to kind of see what's going on here, and people aren't getting helped, right? Supplies aren't going to be going in, right? It's displacement, right? You know, you gotta see what's going on here. It's displacement. Who is it? You better back off, Jack. Of course, I still got my security cameras. You gotta see this. I don't only have those security cameras outside. Lots of new bridges coming. Yeah, there's hundreds missing. You don't even hear that on the news. Hundreds of bridges gone. Hundreds of roads gone. Hundreds, right? We're not talking a couple here or there. We're talking hundreds. It's crazy. Oh, so what I was saying on my little squirrel moment there, I don't only have my security cameras outside. You can't walk in this. You can't walk inside this cabin without being recorded. Robert, what is the word for a person so evil they would allow others to die or even kill to get what they want? What is the word? Tell me. There's a couple words. There's a couple different persons or personalities or psychological behavior, if that's what you're getting at. You know, you got psychopathy, you got sociopaths, you got narcissists, you have just plain evil. Okay, and you know, if you don't have feelings about what's going on, that's basically the main definition of a narcissist, right? A full-blown narcissist, not somebody with narcissistic tendencies. A full-blown narcissist has zero empathy. Do not care. Do not care. Lucifer, at his worst, is the pure evil of evil. He's a douchebag. He ain't got no power. He's a chump. The only power he has is the power that you give him. Okay? You know what I mean? I mean, I hope you get what I understand, right? He can't do anything. Okay? He can't do anything. You know, than anything that we allow him. Now, do things happen? Hey, we have things go over this every day. But those are blessings. Look at what I went through. Hey, that was all a blessing. Was I a total whatever? Terry knows. But what I have learned, oh man, my life is so much better now. I am doing so well. My living, my attitude, my thoughts. I feel like I'm back human again. You know? And stuff. So I feel really, really good. So the blessings, you know, that's what's cool. So what could happen with all this? It could absolutely be a blessing. Okay. And in the long run, it could absolutely be a blessing. But what is going on? What is going on? Yeah, it is what it is. And yeah, but it's all part of the big plan. Our great King, I'm telling you, is coming back. I truly believe this is the day of sorrows. Okay, I could be wrong. Just my thought, my opinion. I believe this is the day of sorrows, and all beginning of days of sorrows, and that's actually a good thing. It's actually a good thing, long as your heart and soul is right. Your mind, heart, and soul is right, because we're going to be seeing things. This is nothing. This is still nothing. Who is it? Who keeps on coming around here? I think it's just catching the shadows. I should turn those things while I'm off. But I tell you what, a lot of times, right, I'm sitting out there on the porch, right? I'm just drinking coffee. I'm just kind of hanging, right? So I like to be able to hear that thing because, like, especially at night, I'll be sitting out here, 1 o'clock at night, 4 or 5 in the morning. I'm sitting there. I hear that thing go off, man. I'm like, who is it? What is it? I carry firecrackers. I have firecrackers beside me. It's like that thing goes off, and I see Mr. Bear come around the corner, like, pow. Yeah, what does it say? The Bible tells us the whole story. Absolutely, the Bible tells us the whole story. And the Bible tells us not to be afraid, right? Right? That's the important thing. The important thing is not to be afraid. Okay? Do your due diligence. Keep your eyes focused on the Lord. The Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost, man. Listen, listen, listen. Do. Do your due diligence and do according to His will. And seek what His will is. You got to seek what His will is. So you know what you do and do right and whatnot. And of course, we're all far from perfect, and we all make mistakes because we are imperfect. So we can't be perfect if we're imperfect, but we can always do our best. You know what I'm saying? Cheers! I hope you all had some coffee. This is only about the 5th or 6th cup already. What? Cameras are good to have. Oh, I got cameras all around me. I'm being recorded right now, right from over there. I'm being recorded from right there. I have cameras upstairs. I have cameras in the kitchen. You can't walk around this cabin. You can't be inside this cabin without being recorded. And it all goes to the clouds. Ain't nobody can tell any lies about me anymore, not inside this cabin, or not outside it. Sad to say, but, cover my back. Fear no evil, see no evil. That was a good program. Fear no evil, and any kind of it can change to something good. Yeah, that's right. That fear can be stopped. I'm not afraid, just really, what? I can't see that. Is that mad, angry, upset, concerned? I can't see it. All I see is a little tiny dot. Oh, what is it? Angry. Yeah, I can see it on this. I can see it on my phone. I got my phone down here also. Yeah. It's like, yeah. Oh, man. I can see you, Viper. I can see you. What the? What are they doing? Yeah. And this is what I find funny with so many people. And I'm watching these videos, and I watch so many of these videos. And you'll listen, and I constantly hear, I don't understand why this happened and stuff, or they won't do this because, and I don't understand why they won't do it. These people are incompetent. No. Okay, there is no incompetency here. And that last video, I'm glad she touched on that, because I've been telling a lot of people that there's no incompetency here. Okay, what's going on? What's going on, Landon? Let me see. It seems Yeshua is pushing the red states for supporting the Antichrist. Who knows? Who cares? I don't even care. I didn't care about the politics anymore. You know what I'm saying? We need somebody to run the country. You know what I'm saying? And, whatever. We just need good leadership. And I don't watch the news anymore. I don't watch the news. I don't watch anything. I don't pay attention to that. My life is pretty good. You know, I'm not saying my life is perfect or anything by any means, and I'm not going through any issues or anything, you know. We all have, you know, issues living, it's life. But my life is a lot better without listening to it. And I really don't want to hear it. You know, I don't want to hear it. I don't care. I said what I believe that I've heard or whatnot 2.5 years ago. We'll see. We only got a couple more months. We shall see. I still stand by what I said. But now we're getting close to the point, well, what Robert was telling us a couple and a half years ago, is it or is it not? Because what I'm sharing was not my opinion, you know, but it is what it is. You know, it is what it is. So we shall see, Fifi, and then we'll see what's going on over here in this area. You know, remember, remember, okay? Remember the minerals. Remember the lithium. Remember what happens after that. Remember if they really rebuild these towns. Just remember to see what's the outcome here in another 3 years. See what's going on. It's like, I remember that. I remember Robert on YouTube talking about natural resources and stuff. And oh my God, look at it. No one lives there anymore. It's all mined out. We all got a camera. What? Start recording on our phones, but don't want for help to come. If you can step into help, fear not, and do it. God got your back. I was trying to read that the best I can. Our Father in heaven absolutely has our backs. If you want him, he has our backs. Now, some people don't want to believe that. Some people do believe that. And everybody's got the right to believe what they want to believe. I believe my Father in heaven through Jesus Christ, you know what I'm saying, and the Holy Spirit has got my back. Okay? Works for me. As long as it works for me. And if you trust the Lord, the Holy Spirit, and Jesus Christ, our great King, he's got your back. You know? And if you don't, then you don't have to worry about it. You know, it's you know, I'm nobody's judge here, okay? But what is going on with this all around these areas and what's going on around the world and stuff like that, you got to be able to connect the dots and see what's happening. Like, oh, this is just a coincidence that 2 years ago, plans were made in this area to start doing things 2 years ago. Planned for 2025 and completed by 2030. Well, just happens to be now you don't have to worry about getting the bulldozers out or buying people's land or property or anything like that, because somehow miraculously Mother Nature, right, that we have no control over, right, that people can't believe, even though you can read, since 1931 they've been able to control weather, started working on controlling weather, all right? They've been controlling weather patterns big time, you know, in Vietnam. I mean, where do you think all that rain and everything come from? Okay? Anybody can go and read and study on weather modification, all kinds of things. They even admit it that they can do it, but they do it all for nothing. It's all for nothing. We can control the weather, but we can't stop this from happening. Oh boy, or we could make this happen. I don't know which one it is. It connect the dots. You know, is this an act of God? Is this angels doing this, or is this man-made stuff? Some of you just got to read between the lines. You know, figure it out. But know what? In the long run, our Father in heaven's got control of all of this. You know what I'm saying? You know, the plan has been written, right? It's all been written out. So, myself, I'm not worried. Sometimes I get concerned. I'm a human being. I get concerned. You know, I prayed for Townsend. When this was on its way, I was like praying to Townsend, Lord, Heavenly Father, I pray in the name of Jesus Christ that you watch over my cabin, will you watch over Townsend? Can you spare us from this coming into this area? And he did. you know, because he was coming right at us. And he did, but then this happened over there, and then I spoke to the Lord again. I spoke to the Lord again. I'm like, Father, you know, always want to pray for your divine protection and all in the name of Jesus Christ, but I don't want somebody else to get hurt. You know, spare me so others, you know, so let it go away from me so others get it. So, Peg, how you doing? It's good to see you. Let me finish my thought here. And so I felt bad. I'm like, Lord, thank you so much. But I feel like, you know, it was never meant spare me so others can get hurt. And I'm sure everybody understands that. But I had to speak to the Lord about that myself. It's just like, Lord, you know? So, whatever. Let me see. Let me see what she said, Peg. Good to see you. I've been watching videos on the mess down that way and missed the beginning, but now I found you. Yeah, good to see you. Well, this storm had nature in it, but government had to use their hands in it too. Well, we'll put it this way, because we can't speak freely in this free country over our First Amendment, because we're a free country and we have the First Amendment, but we just can't use it. So, we got to be careful what we say, because this is not a free country anymore. They say. Let me see, what were you saying? So, yeah. So, fire, smoke, y'all. Yeah, I'm still smoking. So, Peg, it's so good to see you. Thank you so much for sending letters, you know, emails and stuff like that. It's been great keeping in contact with you. I haven't been coming on here much at all because, I don't know. There's other reasons, because I just don't want certain people to just see me and see how I'm doing and what I'm doing and whatever, you know what I'm saying, whatever, you know. So I've been kind of staying away, and I don't know if I'll come back and do any more or whatnot. But I wanted to cover this. I wanted to talk about what's going on as a local for something right down the road. And also, and I wanted to share some of the videos of what's going on, because a lot of these videos aren't getting out there. Okay. And so I wanted to share some of that. I was wanting to go up in the area. I was thinking of a way, you know, where I could like bring food in and bring my smoker in, and bring my camp chef in, and go get my 2 gas bottles filled, and get some roast. You know, try to get some big roast or quarters or whatnot, and you know, smoke some food and all. And I think that is covered. My concern is, what I feel in my heart are the ones that are stranded that can't be got to. And what do I do? You know, I don't have a helicopter myself, but that's my concern. You know, is the thousands that can't be gotten to. Let me see. I hope you post this so I can catch the first 101 minutes I missed. Is that how many there was, right? Yeah, I'm going to leave this up, and I'll probably make a couple, just in case y'all are not getting the videos. The last video that I shared from TruthStream Media, who are excellent, and definitely go to their page on YouTube, and I believe it's truthstreammedia.com. They posted, and you know, if you go to their video, go to that link. If you go to their site, they posted legit people that if you want to send donations to or anything, these people that she has the links on there, her and Aaron, I believe it's his name, Aaron, have legit links that you can legitimately share with, or you know, go to, and it'll be used correctly. I myself, I was going to come here. Let me see, Robert. Stop worrying about what people think. If God puts in your heart to share, do it. Yes, sir. I hear you, brother. I hear you. TrueStream is a good channel. Yes, they are. Very good channel. And I guess I do. I probably overthink that a little bit about thinking what people think and all. It's trying to put it all together, you know, me working and what I can do with what resources I have. I was like, man, I would love to come on here and like, could I draw any funds where, you know, because I can't afford to do it by myself. It's like, can I draw any funds where I can get some shoulders and, you know, pork or whatever, steaks or something, you know, where I can go up there and just set up my smoker and set up my grill, you know, buy pancakes, you know, pancake mix and stuff, and just try to make food, you know, food and stuff. And so I don't know, it's a lot. It's a lot. So I think if there was a way or something, I think it would be revealed to me or whatnot. I don't know. Sometimes we get in our own ways. But yeah, anyways. So we shall see. I still want to talk to the guy across the street has a four-wheel drive. I want to find somebody that's got a real four-wheel drive. Like he's got a real four-wheel drive, and I want to try to find. But these areas are bad. Okay, bad. I mean, I could show another video. These areas are bad that you can't even get in with a four-wheel drive. I mean, you can't even get in with a bulldozer. That's how bad it is. So, and you can't bring, you know, local helicopters into these people and all. You know, thank the Lord that the people that can get to, the towns that can be gotten to, are getting help. You know, and thank the Lord. All right, Ellen, you take care. Till the next time, be safe, be blessed, and be a blessing. My main concern is the ones that can't be gotten to. Our son just got here, so I'm busy getting him lunch while I listen. All right, you get him some lunch. Get him something good to eat. So I've been doing a lot of barbecuing. I've been doing a lot of smoking, using my smoker outside. Been hanging out on the porch. You know, cooking victuals. Me in the neighborhood, you know, a few of the people around. Been getting together, and you know, I'll cook the meats and stuff like that, and somebody cooks the potatoes, or someone does a casserole, or someone makes mashed potatoes, or whatever. It's like, I'll do the beef, you do the other stuff. I don't do the other stuff. I just don't want to. I found good boots on the ground channel. Someone from the area near Chimney Rock. Yeah, that's the guy's video. That's the guy's video. The first video that I shared is Mark's video. Yeah. And there's not a lot he can do. He went in there by foot, right? Mark Honeycock, right? Yeah, he went in foot. He went in foot in one of his first videos. He went in with his chainsaw strapped across the front of him. I'm like, well, that's pretty cool. But a chainsaw, you can only cut so much with a chainsaw. It's like, you know, he would need gas, you know, and oil mixture, right? Because, you know, these are oil mixture, you know, fuel mixture chainsaws and stuff. Oh, that's cool, Robert. I just found him this morning. Oh, did you? Yeah, Mark's pretty cool. There are getting to be a lot out there. So the locals are doing an incredible job. But you know, with that, my heart is really going out for the ones that can't be got to, and that's the thousands. Oh, you found him yesterday? So he just came out. Cool page. Then you probably seen the one where he started walking up there with a chainsaw across the front of him and all. And if you see his videos, you see how the roads are and the rivers, right? They're completely impassable. I mean, you don't, you know, a bulldozer. I mean, if you had a huge bulldozer, like they use on gold miners or whatever, the TV program, these huge D80s, D90s, whatever they call them, or you could push your way through. But then when you get to the road, there's no road. I mean, there's no road. You literally have to go through the mountain. But these mountains aren't dirt. These are boulders, huge boulders the size of this cabin, easily. So it's going to be a challenge. But it's a challenge where we need our military equipment, brought in here. And I mean tons of it. There should be convoys coming in here with the military equipment, bulldozers, dirt haulers, dirt movers. I mean, that's what could be done if they wanted to. Right? So you kind of take that the way you take it. If they wanted to, it could be here. Okay, it could be. If they wanted to save these towns, yeah, I'm good. Thank you. I appreciate it, man. I hope you're doing well, and the missus is doing well. But yeah, I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Of course, life is not perfect, but I'm doing well. I'm doing well. Here at the cabin, living by myself and stuff is really cool. I'm gotten used to that, but then I got friends and I'm always over here visiting. I'm over there visiting. They're over here visiting. I had the other night, I don't know, 8 people on the porch. And I'm cooking up some food, man. I got the grill going over here. I got the grill out there going. I got the smoker going. So I'm doing what I like to do, and that's cooking and feeding people. So a lot of people has been coming here on the porch, and we're set up all over the place. I'm like, bring your furniture, So they bring their coolers, and some of them have beers, some of them have drinks or whatever. Some just doing sodas or whatever. Some just doing water. But we're pigging out. We're eating good, thank the Lord. So on that note, I do have my neighbor that just got back across the road. So I'm going to have to go visit him. What time we got here? What time is it? 11:25? He got back yesterday, so I got to go visit him and his buddy, go hang out there for a while and think about what we're going to have for dinner. It's like we cook around here together. It's like, hey, what do y'all feel like for dinner tonight? It's like we're all kind of like family, right? It's like, so what do you want to have for dinner tonight? So I uncovered the smoker. I know I have a steak in there, but I had steak last night. Did steak and fresh corn last night. So I don't know if I want to do steaks again, but maybe I'll do steaks, and maybe I'll do some chicken and stuff. I know when I had people over here, when you have a bunch of people over and stuff, I'm doing in the layers of the smoker, because it's 3 layers. I'm doing steaks, hamburgers, and chicken. Loading it up and let them bring the condiments. You know what I'm saying? And that's what they do. So I got to go down there and see what he wants to pig out on tonight. So maybe we'll do some smoked chicken or whatnot. Can't wait for Thanksgiving. Can't wait for Thanksgiving and Christmas time and stuff. I love family, man. I love getting together. So we all been getting together. So, man, we're going to be doing some cooking. I know I'm going to be doing some cooking, man. I'm going to cook 2 turkeys in that smoker, for all of us. I'm going to do 2 turkeys in that, and then probably make some dressing or whatever in the oven. And also, I don't know. But yeah. So I'm really glad to see you all. Glad you're able to stop by and stuff. And I say, I have a lot to do today. Just can't the engine to fire. Right, I can't get the engine to fire. Yeah, it's early. I've been waking up every morning. I'm up usually about 4 o'clock. I wake up, kind of hang out, pull myself together, but I'm usually up and out of bed about 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning time. I'm doing coffee. I almost get my day done by 10 o'clock. You know, I just did my laundry. Matter of fact, I got to fold it. I got to fold it, put it away. But come noon, I'm going to have everything done that I need to get done and stuff. So on that note, I'm about ready to go down and see what we're going to do for lunch and then see what we're going to do for dinner or whatnot and all that jazz. But I am doing well, and I hope you all are doing well. Please continue to pray for me. You know, I always take those. Stay thankful to the Lord. Stay thankful to our great King Jesus Christ, and stay thankful to the Holy Ghost and all. And I continue to pray for you guys. I'm really glad to see you guys. Sorry I haven't been around, but I've been working a lot on normality. Okay? You know, and a normal, a balance. You know, a good balance and all. So that's why I haven't been on here much. Just working on a good, solid balance and stuff. So, yeah, I'm doing pretty good. You know, mentally wise and, you know, around here, around the holler, you know, driving around, doing what I do and everything like that. So, on that note, I better get going because I go see my buddy down there and see how his trip was. He went to Wyoming and all, and he came back. He flew up there to Wyoming and he drove back, went to Chicago and then over to Maryland and then came down 81. All right. Well, I appreciate that. Thank you so much. I really do. I really do appreciate that. We can all use them. I can always use them. But yeah, I'm doing good. I really am. Thanks to you all. Thanks for your prayers. Thanks to the Lord, of course, to Jesus Christ. Thank you for the Holy Ghost, for his blessings and his blessings to come. You know, I'm always so thankful. So thankful. I still haven't gained much weight, but I'm good. You know what I'm saying? I'm good. I'm actually still a little bit hurt from the accident and stuff like that. But that will work out in the long run and stuff. So we'll see how that goes. But I'm not worried about it. I'm not concerned about it. You know, it's all in the Lord's hands. The Lord didn't save me to let me fall. You know what I'm saying? So that's well understood in my mind. So yeah. Well, it was good to at least catch the end. I will watch the first part and catch up. Be blessed. You be blessed also, Peg, okay? You're looking good for sure. Well, thanks. I appreciate it. Still got my own haircut. I cut my own hair, you know? I don't know what it looks like behind me or anything, but I cut my own hair. What is that? What is that saying? Somebody said something. I guess that was Logan down there. So, I'm going to go see my buddy. It looks like everybody's starting to wake up. So I'm going to get out there and do my thing. I love you all. Be blessed. I pray our Father in heaven, in the name of Jesus Christ, that you all are blessed, watched over, cared for, loved, everything. Yeah, I just pray that the Lord just blesses you all. I really do. I really, really do. Be blessed and be a blessing, okay, y'all? Take care and pray for these people in North Carolina and Tennessee. Pray for them, you know, that the Lord's will be done. The Lord's will be done in their situations, okay? And everything else we hear, connect the dots, know what's going on, just so you know where we're at in the plan of life, you know? We just pray that the Lord's will be done, you know? Okay, y'all be blessed. They're starting to ring my chime and stuff, so I'm going to head that way. Take care. It's really good seeing y'all, okay? Be blessed. Bye-bye, y'all.